Next, please welcome Mr. Herman Mack, Customer Solutions Architect, Infrastructure Modernization, Google Cloud, and Mr. Dee Lu, Head of Digital Data and AI, Jardine Matheson, to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It's a real pleasure to see everyone turn out. It's a fantastic turnout for a topic that's at the heart of every retail business today. I can think of myself, when I go to purchase something online, it has to be as frictionless as possible. And that all requires modernization. In a world where customer expectations are constantly changing, evolving at the pace of technical change and that technical change is relentless. So if you rely on your legacy commerce systems solely, it's like trying to win a Formula One race with a vintage car. It just won't cut it anymore. So modernization isn't just a buzzword. It's a critical imperative for survival and success, and more importantly, for growth and innovation. So that's why we are very fortunate to have Dee Lu, Head of Digital, Data, and AI at Jardine Digital and Business Service Center, with us today. His team, which is designed to foster a culture of innovation, accelerate digital transformation, and leverage data and AI across the group's diverse businesses. Dee, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
So before we dive into a specific case study, which we worked on together, could you tell us a bit more about your team, the Jardine Digital and Business Service Center and program itself, and what is the intention and motivation behind launching such a comprehensive initiative, and what's the impact that you aim to achieve, right, for your team?
Sure. This team actually has been launched since 5 years ago, so there are a few changes in the name. So most recently, due to strategic changes, our name officially now is Jardine Digital and Business Service Center. And our mission is to create a shared service center to revamp Jardine's sizable back office operation with the latest technology and processes.
Sounds like such a big task, right, for such a diverse group like Jardine Matheson, and it must be a huge undertaking. So, don't you have in Jardine Matheson? Don't you have retail for sure, right? You have motor vehicles, properties, hospitality. So, how does your team approach such a diverse set of businesses and helping on that, given there's so many individual different business units?
Yeah, you're right. Jardine has a very diverse business portfolio. We have each business is almost unique with their own priorities and also geographical locations. So our team's goal is to find the common back-end services or the common need across all the businesses so that we can find the synergies among them. So for example, as shown here, the finance operation, where you do financial reporting, P&C, which we call people and culture, there's an internal name for human resource, and also IT operation, level 1, level 2, software development, AI, and also procurement. So those are the common services regardless of your industry. So we are trying to utilizing offshore teams. So we have one offshore team in mainland China and one in Philippines, with also a group of team here in Hong Kong, because our headquarters are in Hong Kong, so that we can have very local engagements. So with the whole team, we can hopefully onboard our different portfolio businesses onto this shared service center. And of course, we still keep our innovation DNA, because this team actually evolved from a innovation team, so that we also do a lot of the R&D, fail fast and fail safe, so we can try out new technologies in a relatively safe environment, and then can scale the solution to the rest of the business.
So I heard you say synergies, right? I think that's a key word for large organizations, because you want to move beyond just individual things. You can see the problems that are common across all of the different business units and maybe work on those, right? So did your individual efforts, and you can see some shared benefits, right, for that?
Correct. Actually, majority of our existing team member coming from consulting backgrounds. This is exactly how we operate ourselves. we basically operate like an internal consulting firm. Instead of charging or pitching for businesses, we actually more in the mind of serving our businesses. So like any consultant, we have our engagement framework. So we will do initial interview, understand the problem, analyze the problem, propose a solution, and then we onboard, for example, our customers' existing processes, whether it's HR, IT, or finance operation, to our offshore center, and then we can then think about optimize it. Because historically, in the different businesses, they may have already adopted a lot of their own processes or systems. So by onboarding them to a shared service center, so we can analyze them holistically. So normally we do process reengineering, normally come with system integration, meaning we can subscribe to, say, one HR operation system or one financial systems that can serve all the businesses. Take, for example, like every month, every quarter, every half year, every year end, different businesses, they need to report financial numbers to the holdings. If we can adopt a universal financial reporting system, meaning all these processes can be automatic, comparing to now, all those reports are running on Excel.
Yeah, it's like you have a single system or like fewer systems that knowledge exchange is better, and also everyone can answer each other's questions, kind of like that as well.
Correct, yes.
Got it. So that's a fantastic overview, Dee. It really clarifies your strategic, the mindset of of your group, of your team, and how it's setting up the group for the future. So now let's zoom in on our specific case study, right? That we worked on, right? For one of your key retail business units, what were the primary drivers for recognizing that their existing commerce system, and in particular their commerce the search experience, needed some overhaul? What kind of pain points were they experiencing or something like that?
Yeah, so we constantly talk to our internal clients, which will be different business units, retail being one of them. So we heard that some of the customers complaining they cannot get very accurate search from our e-commerce websites. Obviously, that's a very big deal because e-commerce, that's half of the channel. We have a brick and mortar business, but customers, they do shopping online. So we did an interview and did some analysis. We found out that most of our existing e-commerce system are off-the-shelf packaged products, and the search engine within normally come with those kind of off-the-shelf products. So those search engines today are normally keyword-based, meaning those are keyword matching. So when you type a keyword, the system will take the ASCII value of the keyword and then try to match that with the exact keyword in a database and then return the result. Well, the problem with that is now with the advancement of AI, people start to ask very long questions or search very long phrases. This being a challenge for the traditional keyword-based search engine because it doesn't have the context of the conversation.
Got it. So it wasn't just about finding something like when they're going on the website, right? But it was finding the right thing sometimes too, right?
Correct.
So I can totally relate to that frustration, like as a shopper, right? If I go on and then I type something and there's like poor relevance, right? To it's like that must be having a measurable impact for your conversion rates and also like the stickiness, right, for the customers, right? So what other pain points were you contributing to needing a change?
Yeah, so inherently, those enterprise tools, I think they are configured or developed in the mindset of the seller. So meaning it's catered for the category manager or the marketing team, so that it's not 100% thinking from a consumer perspective. Because if you think about the traditional keyword searching, you have to spend a lot of effort to tag the product because you have to really thinking or predict what the customer is thinking about describing a product, and you pre-index or pre-tagging those products so the customer can find it. But the problem with that is, there are close to millions of SKUs on our retail or on our shelf, so the effort is tremendous. And secondly, because the nature of the Hong Kong or generally all the international cities, people here speak multiple languages. So traditional search engine normally we ask you when you log in, you choose either English version or Chinese version, but most people, we do mixed, especially in Hong Kong, people like to mix different languages together in one sentence. This is actually very, very challenging for the keyword search engine. And also what makes it worse is that Hong Kong as a hub, 90% of the consumer products we consume today are imported from worldwide. Those products are normally labeled in their original language. That can be anything. If we don't tag them, that means it's very hard for the search engine to index them, hence for the customer to find them. So we actually reported those problems to the OEM provider, but you have to wait for them to do the patches and then do the upgrades. So the cycle is kind of slow at the moment.
Got it. So the slow innovation cycle is critical, right? Because everyone is changing so quickly, right?
Yep.
They're all upgrading regardless if you upgrade or not, right? So it's not only the tech stack was holding you back, right? But in a market, you felt like it's a constant uphill battle, right? If you don't change faster. So it's less about fixing what was broken, but more about enabling like a new functionality for the future level of capability. Can you speak to what you see in the market right now? Like if you just look out and to other people.
Yeah, I believe everyone, if you do online shopping, you must notice that now social media is the new trend. So now there are like online shop, you don't even know you are shopping by watching videos or chatting online. Something, the topic leads to a product, it will naturally provide you a link so you can click to buy. And also for some of the e-commerce websites, now if you see something but you don't know what it is, so you can upload a picture or even just right there using your phone, take a picture of the object and upload it, and then the platform can provide you where you can buy it and even the description of it. And then also for a lot of the e-commerce platform that evolved from social media, you can actually now use natural language to do the search rather than keywords. For example, if I go to grocery store, I want to say, I want to buy eggs that can be consumed raw, but I don't know the concept, organic, free range, or bacteria-free. Those are keywords, but as a consumer, I just want to know, show me the eggs that I can eat raw or onsen egg. Or for example, I just dye my hair, show me the shampoo that is recommended by the hairstylist. So those kind of context-based query are more common now. And we really hope that someday we can achieve to that level, so we have this capability on our website.
Right. So that's certainly some compelling reasons, right? It sounds like a blend of like customer obsession, right? You really want to understand and help the customers, and then also some internal operational hurdles, particularly from a multi-format retailer like yourself. Yep. When you identify these challenges that you mentioned to me, what was the initial reaction or resistance, if any, in the organization? Let's say if you bring out a plan for change, right? Because you told me you had a framework, you have to identify how you're going to solve it, right? How did they take it when you bring it to them, right?
Sure. Always there's a concern on the risk because we're talking about production life system. Every day there are millions of customer clicks. And also we have a very lean dev team. So the risk is definitely there. But what we do is that in order to really convince them to build a business case to start a trial, so we, again, referring to our consultancy mindset, yeah. You do interview, prioritize, POC, and then pilot. If the pilot is okay, then we go to production. And for us, after you go production, there's one step for our team because we are central of excellence so that we can replicate one case into the other businesses. So it's the full span, kind of like the AI trailblazer yeah. that we just talked about. We just have one more step after production. We think about how to package the solution as a individual product and replicate that amongst different views.
I love that. So you take their pain points, right, and then you create the business case from it, right, yeah. like through the consulting and thing, and then you then take your output from that and you quantify the priorities that you want to put. Do you actually put like actual dollar figures to like how much you can, improve or save, to the BU or something?
Because we work in data, so we're very cautious about actually putting an absolute dollar value before we do any experimentation. However, we can set target KPIs at each gate of the stage, or in Google's term, OKRs.
OKRs, yeah.
Yes, for metrics like search volume or click-through rates. So for those, we can measure at each step if the metrics meet certain criteria, then we move to the next. Those actually can help us to build a business case. And also, to identify the business case, again, put on our consulting hat, we actually build this normal matrix. You identify the high impact cases with the lowest or the acceptable risk or cost or plausibility. So those are the high target that you want to go for first.
Got it. So let's start talking about our case, right?
Yep.
Can you explain can you explain something about the background about this case and how you started to formulate your business plans based on the data? Yeah.
Sure. So we have many different products. So if you want to go in and just analyze everything, that's going to be very difficult. That's why we decided let's just focusing on one product category, very, very focused.
Yeah.
And then for all the different product category, we'll pull their search history and marry that with the GA data, Google Analytics data, to show for all the searches having a history, how many search results actually will lead to clicks and how many will actually generate no leads.
Right.
So here there's a breakdown of approximately 1 million search actions conducted on one product on the e-commerce website. As you can see that 20% of the search actually generate no result. And then 49%, half of it generate a result, but the user didn't click through, meaning they're just browsing the search result. Only 28% of the result leads to a click, meaning the user generally interested in a search result. So our target is actually to find a solution to minimize the red part, no result, and also to increase the blue part, nudge the user to click into the product.
Got it. So based on all the products for this BU, right, you decide, hey, let's start small. Let's pick like 2 of the categories, and then we'll start from there based on the research.
Correct.
Okay, got it. So you're telling me like basically for some of the searches that are actually happening, on the BU, like completely nothing shows up. Right? That's
yes.
the red section, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have observed that certain search generates no results. Well, there are multiple reasons. One is there are a lot of typos, or people randomly test, those strings with not meaning. But also, like I mentioned before, keyword-based search engine is not very good at taking long phrases that with multiple words. For example, if you're looking for show me the moisturizer for sensitive skin. So actually, if you do that in one of our grocery websites, it will generate no result. Instead, the recommendation engine will actually kick in and then generate a bunch of items, random items like food and vegetables.
Vegetables. So, but maybe that's the AI, right? So it's like, if I eat vegetables, then I don't need moisturizer at all, right?
I hope the search engine can be that smart. So actually, that's our goal. So we are now experimenting certain AI models or AI-powered search. Hope we can achieve that. If there's no result, AI can kick in to anticipate what the user really needs.
Got it. Okay, so let's talk about what you chose, right? You mentioned the title, right? You're leveraging AI search, right? Can you elaborate on why your team chose the specific and which Google technologies you used, right, for the search engine modernization, and what capabilities did it offer you that resonated with your goals and your overall program objectives?
Sure. Well, the reason, firstly, if you talk about search, normally you will think of Google. As a matter of fact, we got some of the feedback from our customer that if they want to search for a certain product on a certain category, it's better you search on Google than search within the websites, because Google actually can index the entire e-commerce website, give a much accurate result. That's why we choose Google as the partner. And the exact product we use was Vertex AI. So Vertex AI is actually a studio, but we leverage one of the modules with the Herman's search API. The reason why we choose API, like I mentioned, we are a very small team. API is very easy and modular, so you can plug and play. And also, it's completely hosted by Google. So we don't need to deploy, maintain, package. So just by calling the API, and then pay as you go.
Yeah, easy to scale and easy to roll out
Yep.
once we do that. Yeah. So that's a compelling set of reasons, right, to be able to move fast, and it's clear how those choices directly support your team. Could you walk us through the results of your comparison, right? Because this is a new search engine, and you have your existing one powered by, like the new ones by Vertex AI Search. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's what we did in the POC stage. So the POC, you don't need live traffic. So we, like I said, we download the historical search result, and then we analyze those keywords, and then we put the same keywords into the Google Vertex AI search engine, and then it will generate, of course, we mount that with our product category. So the Google Vertex AI search engine will generate its results. So, and then we lay the two results side by side, as you mentioned. As you can see here, the black column is the result that generated by historical or the existing search engine, and the blue one are the one generated by the Google Vertex AI. And then we ask the category manager to check to see which result set is the one that favored or is the intended result. As you can see here, majority of the search items, the keywords showing up here are favored by the category manager comparing the result from the existing search engine. By the way, we did actually try a few those keywords with no results, meaning those typos. Surprisingly, Vertex AI can also somehow autocorrect those keywords and then translate that into the correct words and give meaningful results.
Yeah, those examples were really resonate with me. It sounds like it will decrease friction, right? Because even the category manager would happen to pick the Vertex AI one. Again, I can't wait to see it soon when it goes, when I go in and it looks like, some furnitures and stuff like that. So after the comparisons are completed, like right now, right? Mm-hmm. What are your next steps?
So after the POC, the next step would be pilot. Pilot means we can put it into run with live traffic. So there's a very easy A/B testing you can set up, or ABC testing set up in parallel. So 1A would be your existing search engine path, so that as a control group, and then you can divert part of the traffic for very specific category to the Vertex AI powered search engine. So here I show two paths. So we are now choosing the upper path because we don't want to completely replace the existing search engine right now, but rather it's less intrusive. So we use the Vertex AI to understand the search keywords and then translate or augment that to a search engine friendly keywords, and then feed that into the existing search engine, which contains a lot of the business rules and promotion rules and marketing rules. And then the existing search engine will generate results. So we can do that in parallel run with the existing search engine. And also, we can also divert part of the traffic, completely rely on Vertex AI, especially with the natural language search, and can generate meaningful results. So those are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, for sure. So it's like you're putting a platform on top that's able to integrate with the existing one. Yep. And then also you can add on with the additional natural language on top.
Correct.
I'm sure like the business unit would be much more happy to know that it's like adding on top, right?
Yeah, versus, it's less intrusive.
Changing what their world is, right?
Yeah.
Got it. So that's an exciting next step. How about after this new search is fully serving production traffic, right? We launch it. What's next? Like something like completely new, or how are we doing this?
So there will be two potential future steps. So one being, like I mentioned, after production, we want to scale, meaning if we do this for one of the banner, this can be easily replicated to other banners. So we want to scale this as a service from our service center. And secondly, with Vertex AI, actually, it already has the capability, and we tested out with this conversational shopping experience, so that we can develop a chatbot. We actually tried a chatbot that along the conversation, we can guide the user, narrow down the user need. And during the conversation, you can pump up the links to the result. Or we can, for less intrusive way, we overlay the chatbot on top of the existing e-commerce website, so that you can run both the historical search engine plus the chatbot at the same time with the existing technology.
Got it. Like conversational commerce, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something like what we saw in the keynote earlier today.
Correct.
That
yes.
was mind-blowing. All right, well, thank you, Dee. It's an incredible insight and an inspiring vision. Your journey, in particular, our project together, it truly demonstrates that modernization isn't just about adopting some new technology, but it's about fundamentally rethinking how we serve our customers, right? Decrease the friction, et cetera. So I hope you guys found this session helpful, and helpful especially in this rapidly evolving retail landscape. But then Dee, I can't wait to see what we have next coming in store for this project, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Herman and Dee Lu. Please scan the QR code on screen to check in and collect your stamp for swag redemption.